Boom. Now we're live. How you doing, Mr. Den Daas?
I'm doing good, Lane. How you doing?
I am phenomenal. I'm phenomenal. Thank you for joining me on an episode of Manning the Grill. I've been a little lazy in the summertime after July 4th. I've been a little hard getting back to my normal schedule routine, but Manning the Grill, episode 23. I love how I named it. Do you even lift, bro? Do you even lift, bro? So today I want to talk with my man, Nick, here. To give you guys out there watching a little bit of backstory. Nick is a trainer in our area, owns a business called Family Fitness. His kids and my kids are very similar ages, and that's how I met him and his wife when we first moved here, 6-7 years ago. And this was the greatest opportunity from COVID, a great opportunity to actually get to know you better. And I actually really appreciate that. We decided I was doing a little bit of nutritional training with a guy named Luke Briggs, which was working, was fine. But I was looking at during COVID and, Myles and I, my son, and I was like, we need something else. We just deal with something else. So I threw it, and we were looking at Nick. I think, if I remember the correct, make a super simple, long story short, I think we were trying to get you to do some training for the hockey kids, right, over the summer, 1 or 2 days a week, something like that. And we never could quite pull that together.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, your wife had reached out, and
You go. I'll tell you what, we have a
your
buffer.
wife had reached out, and we could get something together for the hockey team.
I'm going to wait this time. So we have a buffer. When I'm done talking, I'll nod, and that's when you can roll. Since we have a little buffer or a technical buffer, but you go. I'll stop until you tell me when.
Yeah, so what we had was Lane's wife had reached out trying to get some team training going on for the hockey kids. We weren't able to quite get that going, but then Lane had reached out and asked if I could work with and Myles. Said I was more than happy to do that, and now a little over together, having a lot of fun doing it. So you can go ahead, Lane.
Yeah. So it's funny. It's a great segue, right? So tell me a little bit about Family Fitness. Now, I was a little hesitant to ask you because I'm like, here I am, a 270-pound, 47-year-old man, and my son is a 130-pound, 10-year-old boy, right? How can you train us together? How does it make sense? And what I found, as you tell us about your business and what you like to focus on, what I found interesting was it's actually really, really fun for both of us to work out together. And I didn't, I kind of just wanted him to get better and stronger, but I didn't anticipate us having a cool activity to do twice a week, and you make it really fun. So like I say, tell us what your motto is. I know on your website here, one of the things I loved about where is it? There we go. There we go. This motto. This part, your philosophy.
Probably to have fun and stay fit.
Yeah. I've never seen that until last night when we get prepared for this. But I'm like, that's awesome. That's a great idea. I love it. So yeah, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So for me, Family Fitness is all about getting the family active and having fun together. So when I was a kid growing up, my dad was in the military, and I didn't get the whole right because he'd be driving around a lot. But one thing he did have in common is he had a real big passion for lifting weights and working out. And that was one of the ways that we could connect, right? So I get to spend every day with my dad. We'd go to the gym, and I think I started when I was like 12 years old. So I was able to hang out with him and get a lot of valuable information from him, not just lifting weights and what he knew, but kind of having that good, strong family bond. So it's becoming best friends with your dad.
Sure.
And we did that for years, and did that all through high school, and I did it in college too. Even on the weekends, I would come back home. We would still be able to work out together. And I'd worked in produce previous to starting business, and I thought, I was just sick of working, every holiday, working every night. How can I do something I love and make a living doing it? I kind of combine my passions for family and fitness together. That's where you have family fitness. That's, the logo with the dog, the weights, the family. That's my whole philosophy there. And just making it fun, right? So when you and Myles are working out, our father, son, mother, daughter, whole family, the main thing is you want to make it fun, right? So if you're not having fun, you're not going to do it. So make sure it's nice and fun. Everyone's having a great time, learning a lot about each other. And if you want to get better at sports or whatever it may be, also that's just an awesome added benefit.
That's a great point. So what I was asking you for is is that the business model you target? Or because I felt like I was coming out of left field, right? I'm like, I got to do something. And you're close to me, so it's very cool. So I really appreciate the opportunity to work you're building. But where can people find you, right? And what do you like to do? What do you like to train, if you will?
Yeah, I love training everyone. So I love training families. That's great. Like you and Myles, that's a great thing. I really enjoy working with young athletes who want to get better at the sport that they may play. So let's say you play soccer, football, basketball, baseball. I've worked with all those types of groups and make it kind of sports specific for what you may need, right? There's a lot of things that are going to be great for all sports. I know that you and Myles have talked a lot about that good athletic position, right? That athletic position that we do, hey Myles, is going to translate in hockey. It's going to translate in football. It's going to translate in basketball. So we've been focusing a lot on the deadlift, right? And how that translates to my goalie. It's almost that same position when he's down there. When he's playing a linebacker, he's in that great athletic position as well. So stronger, but it's also learning about how you want to be aware of your body and in what position you're going to be in for the number one thing. Love working with families, love working with teen athletes, love working with younger kids. I think especially when we can get this demographic early, it's going to be even more beneficial. I've been a lifelong athlete myself, but and become coordinated till I was like a junior in high school. And by then, it's a little bit too late. Some of the coaches had passed you by. You weren't getting the attention that you needed, and you're trying to play catch up. So if we can get these kids, everybody moving well, having fun, getting an opportunity to push and lift early, I think that's just going to be beneficial for a lifetime of success.
Totally. So that's a perfect segue to one of the questions I had. When I told people I was going to take Myles and start weight training with him, immediately the fears of weightlifting, stunting the growth plates, all those stigmas kind of came out, right? And I was very quick to explain it's weight training, not weightlifting. We're working on knees to nipples here, right? Not putting on bulk and making my kid look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. How do you as a trainer answer those questions, right?
Yeah.
And I just showed some video of Myles working out. If you saw it, my dang phone started ringing, but like the beginning of this was really cool. This part right here, you can't hear it, but he's been struggling with the squat, and you put him in front of a window or a wall, to get him down. And he got down the second time real good, right? So, how do you answer that question and what you're doing? Beneficially, not gonna, make a baby Arnold out of my kid, right? Or sacrifice his back or anything.
Yeah, so we'll backtrack a little bit first. So you hear that all the time. People are like, oh, my kid, I don't want him weightlift X age, be 15, 17. That was always just, right? Even when I was growing up, people were like, oh, it's going to stunt your growth plates. It's going to stunt your growth. It's not good. Well, I mean, anything is not good for you if you're not going to do it properly. So what I like to tell people is, we start off with the basics. Everything is from your core to your extremities. But when we're working with anybody, but especially young, we want to make sure that they're moving first with their body well. So it's just body weight movements. And then PVC pipes, like you and Myles, those first couple sessions. And then you start adding weight as you go. Now, being that Myles is a hockey player, baseball player, football. We want those all to translate to strength. So when you're talking about strength, we're keeping those rep ranges in like the 1 to 5 range, and we're working on absolute strength. So to your point, yeah, we're not trying to add tons and tons of bulky muscle to them. We're trying to keep them athletic and keep them as strong as possible. Right.
Yeah, real lean, real tight. So how do you work both of us? I've always been interested in that because you make our workouts incredibly interesting, right? One of the things I'll give you a plug right quick. If you are thinking about training, I definitely give Nick a call. Phenomenal job. We've had a blast, and it's always different. I don't feel like I'm losing any weight. That wasn't my goal, but I definitely feel stronger. I look in the mirror and I'm like, wow, shit's a little swole here. It's got a new curve to it, right? So, but how do you keep, and you do a great job. Like I said, we're doing it together, but you keep it very, what's the term I'm looking for? Very challenging for me and challenging for him. And you keep him on the straight and narrow path, making sure he's in the right position, et cetera, et cetera. How do you manage that, man? It seems like a lot.
That's a good question. I love doing it, number one. So you guys are having a great connection. You're having fun. You're working out. You want to make it so that Myles is moving properly and getting a lot out of it. But you're also a little bit more advanced and you know what's going on. So we want you to have a challenging workout as well, too. So number one, make sure that you're both doing the same thing, right? You're having fun with each other, but I'm challenging you and challenging Myles. Doing that with the weight load would have been a great example. We did that workout together where you guys were a team. So you were doing rowing, 200 meters, then Myles would row 200 meters, then burpees, squats, and squats. And we're getting after it. And I know Myles is big on this, and because I was the same way, like competition. You give a kid, tell them something like, all right, Myles, I need you to get 15 burpees in a minute, right? That light bulb, that competitive light bulb goes on. You're like, all right, I'm going to get this, right? Even if it's hard, I'm digging in. I'm going to get this. I'm not going to lose to my dad. I want to show Nick that I can do it. So it's just keeping those things out there, keeping it lighthearted, having fun. You're not really yelling at the kid. You're pushing them, but you're pushing them within their means.
Yeah. Yeah, you do a really good job of that, by the way, too. It is kind of funny how he did come home one day and brag to his mom. He beat me at one of them. I can't remember what it was, but the meters or the calories or whatever. And he came home running to the house. Mom, I beat Dad in the final. I beat Dad in the final. I'm like, oh my God, dude. I'm literally lifting 5 times as much weight as you are, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. Good for you.
Right. Right.
I'm going to give you a chance quick to brag about your athletic family, since we're talking about making it fun for the family. You got, image of Liz here. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what she's been up to? Because there's Dad teaching her how to do it. Bang, bang. Hate those stupid box jumps. But this is an opportunity for you to brag on your kids a little, man. Go for it.
Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. So I'll start with Liz. Liz is an athlete. She started off in hockey, played hockey for years and years. Recently, she's gotten into track and cross country, and then the sport CrossFit. So those of you that don't know what CrossFit is a community building thing, but it's also a sport. So you have this weekend in town, we have athletes from all over the world competing in the sport of CrossFit at the Alliant Energy Center. And to get to the Alliant Energy Center, you need to go through a series of competitions. So it starts off with the wide, and if you 10% there, you get to go on to another time, and then finally the end destination, CrossFit Games. My daughter saw her first CrossFit Games 2 years ago, and she's like, and what these teenagers are doing really cool. It's awesome. Absolutely right. It's going to be a lot of hard work and a long road ahead of you, but let's just have fun with it. I'll teach you what I know, and we'll go from there. And she ended up finishing 39th in the world this year in the World Wide Open. The top 20 teenagers get to go. So she was just outside that bubble, but really happy with the relationship that we got to build during this time and her progress. So she's more determined than ever to go on to make the game. And then my son, Ethan, he's involved in all different sports. And then took a long break and then recently got into them again. So this year we've done baseball, we've done diving, we've done flag football, kind of done it all. And I think us always having that weightlifting bound and, going out things really gotten in his ear, and he's been having a great time with all the new trying.
Nice. And he's going to be playing football this fall as well, right?
Yeah, that's right. He'll be doing flag football. Hopefully me and you will get to coach together. Him and Myles can be on the same team. That's my favorite sport growing up as a kid. I love coaching football, love playing football.
Sure.
So as we've had conversations before, sometimes being a coach and being a trainer, it's kind of hard watching other people coach the kids, but you like them a different experience. And
I definitely see the value of having different coaches, though. I coached them when they were younger. In soccer, didn't know anything about it. Basketball, knew all about it. And I think baseball. No, I didn't ever do baseball, just soccer and basketball. And those both were, and we've talked about this before, but those were both the forced volunteer. Like, if we don't get a volunteer, we're not going to have a team kind of situation. So I stuck my head up. It was fun. It was different. Coaching your kids weird because you can't help but not be more attentive to them, or harder on them, I should say, not attentive, but harder on them. But that was a lesson for us both to learn as well, right? But I really enjoyed, and we've learned that this year in hockey. As we've gotten more and more advanced in hockey, he gets different goalie coaches or different overall coaches that have a different philosophy or different type of thinking, and it always brings something out. You don't always like it, but sometimes it always brings something different out in you. So I'm definitely looking forward to coach with you this fall on our jam. So yeah, man, that's all I kind of wanted to ask about. That's a perfect explanation of what you do. Like I said, you do a phenomenal job. If you could, what are you looking for? Like, are you looking for more clients, looking for more athletes to train, more families to train? What would you want to see more in your business to help you build and grow?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like I said, probably more families. I really enjoy working with families, helping them make that connection. Because for myself, there's a lot of things that I don't know about, right? So it's like, if I don't know, if I want to get better at fishing, like, what do I do? And this is a good resource in town for, like, you reached out, you're like, I love lifting, but where do we start, right? And just working with them, take those tools and then apply that in yourself as you guys are going on, right? Like, similar to dog training. If you take your dog to a dog trainer, you get some great ideas on how to do it, and then after a while, you're able to do it on your own. Always there, resource if you have any questions, want programming. So, fans, number one, I like to increase that business, and just working with more kids. I work with all ages, so I have a program too, a kids CrossFit program, we call it, that I run out of CrossFit Adept. I rent the space there, and I work with kids ages 4 to 8, and then we have a that is 9 to 12, and then they go on to the teens. The great thing about working with those younger age groups is we start really early. We make it all fun and games, but they're also learning how to properly move. So by the time they're teenagers and they get into middle high school, they already know how to move well, and then the lifting aspect of it becomes so much.
That totally makes sense. I remember kind of what you were saying before when we were kids in our high school football program. So I graduated high school in 1992, and I remember in 1991, they built behind the football stadium, they built this pole barn that had concession windows in the front. So the front quarter of it was the concessions for the football games. And then the rest of the building, the 3/4 of the building, was the first weight room our high school ever had. And I remember them talking about, be careful, and, you can stunt your growth, blah, 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 all this different stuff. But they weren't pushing down our throats. And regardless, I was a senior at that time. So getting a senior in a weight room out of nowhere, out of cold, was going to be a tough challenge anyway, right? But I agree 100%, because here I am 47. I want to do this with my kid. Who is calling me? Why do people keep calling me? I want to do this with my kid, and I have no idea even where to start, right? So I agree 100% with I'm sorry, someone's calling me and it won't stop buzzing me. I agree 100% with getting them started early, at least getting them the form, right? The things you talk about, proud chest, squeezing the grapes, head up, consistent movement. So it's definitely going to help. I've seen the positive benefits from Myles already, right? All right, so to contact you.
And I think as you're talking.
Sorry, we got a little lag.
I was just going to say, going over all those cues. As you're going over all those cues, that's another point to make a point to parents. So if you're at home and you're teaching your kid how to lift, right? The kids don't necessarily process things how adults do, right? So I remember back to one of our first sessions, and Myles, we were trying to teach him the deadlift form, right? And he made that connection that his goalie coach had taught him about. It was like riding that elevator down. Or I like to talk about, what does a gorilla look like if you go to the zoo, right? It's got that nice proud chest, that back. So sometimes zoos don't work for the to them. Yeah, with that picture there, you can see he's got a nice flat back, shoulders are over the bar, and he's driving his heels through the. As long as we can get these kids, you're gonna build them up for some success. I know a lot of my teen athletes, they just want to stack weight, right? Well, sometimes you got to backtrack. We can pull weight will come, but you gotta make sure you're doing it smart and doing it safely.
Yeah, definitely. And like, again, at my age, it even made a point to me as I've been learning how to skate. And I told you this story a couple of weeks ago. It was 3-on-3 because there weren't enough people that showed up, so we were going a little faster than I was used to. I was comfortable with, and there was a pass coming at me, and I tried to. Skating is the same thing. It's you squat down, butt out, knees forward. And that's how you push off, right? That's generally how you skate around, especially when you're learning. It looks really obvious when you're learning. Guys who know what they're doing, it looks butter smooth. But it's very pronounced how I squat down, butt out. I think about it. Pass was coming at me, and I stood straight up, got out of position, and I fell flat on my back. My head bounced off the ice. So number one, always wear a helmet. But number two, it totally justified or validated the position that you're talking about. It's every sport is that position. Every sport. The minute you get out of it, bad things tend to happen. So, yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. You still there? Did I lose you? I think I might have lost him. So, well, we've had his contact information on the bottom there the whole time. I think got some rough internet here. To contact Nick, you can check him out on his Facebook page, Family Fitness. Is at Family Fitness Time on Facebook page, or go right to his website, nicksfamilyfitness.com. If you want to reach out and schedule a planning session with my man Nick. Like I said, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time with him, and he's doing phenomenal things for Myles. I've also put those links in the comments below. Other than that, we had a little rough internet connection with him today, but I think you can get the gist out of what we're talking about, and yeah, we'll go from there. Hope you guys have a great day. Tune in for next week's. I'm gonna try to do one next week. I've been a little, like I said, it's been vacation and being home with the kids from school and whatnot. I've had a little sporadic on my manning the grills on Wednesday afternoons, but I'm gonna try to get back on the horse, make sure I do them regularly through the end of the year at least. I'll try. So that's about it. You guys take care. Have a great day. And if you have any questions, bye.